We are in Dubai attending Arabian Travel Market, and next to me I have Kerry Healy, Chief Commercial Officer of Accor for Middle East, Africa and APAC region.
Correct.
For premium,
mid-scale
and upscale and economy.
Economy,
Okay.
not upscale.
Not upscale,
Premium,
economy.
mid-scale and economy.
So many things.
So many things. Such a large region, so many brands.
Indeed, indeed. So how do you manage to give value to all these brands with your commercial strategy?
Well, it's a great question. I think what's really important in any brand is that each brand stands out clearly. It's differentiated enough. It has its own personality. It has its own value. It's not easy.
Yeah, that is always something that I'm wondering when I'm talking to companies like yours, that you have so many brands under your umbrella. How you manage to differentiate so clearly the different offerings?
I think was actually one of the smartest things we did as Accor.
Yeah.
If you just think back to a couple of years ago,
Yes.
when we created the two divisions.
Okay.
Our division, you met Duncan earlier.
Yes.
The PME division, so premium, mid-scale and economy. And then we created the luxury and lifestyle.
Okay.
So what that did was allow us to get very clear on building the brand equity of all the brands.
Mm-hmm.
So about 18 months ago, we started to take a very new look lens at what we call our iconic brands, which makes up the large portion of PME. So that's ibis, been around for over 50 years,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Novotel and Pullman. So what we did is we took consumer data. So there's a company that we work with, and many of our competitors do, and it's called TravelDailyNews, and it tells us how our consumers, the people that stay in our hotels, feel about the hotel in relation to that country, in relation to the comp set. So it allows us to understand what's important, what's driving that value, which attributes are really important to the customer. So how do we make sure we deliver the brand platform, the brand experience that lives up to that? And I think what this has allowed us to do, and we're going through this process at the moment, really getting very clear on the difference between a Pullman, a Swissôtel, a Movenpick, you know, and it's such a great exercise to go back to, you know, build from the past, but look forward to the future. I mean, these brands have to be as relevant in the next 20 years as they were for the last 50, and the consumer's changed.
Absolutely. And so the profile of your customer for each of those brands are different also.
They are. And I think one of the things that is also very true is that it depends on the purpose of travel.
Okay.
If I put myself in my shoes, I'm traveling with my son and I want to show off. I might book into, I don't know, the Swissôtel, and I want the room with the view, and I want it to be special, right? Because it's for a moment. If I'm traveling to ATM and I know I'm going to be out of my bedroom for probably 17 hours of the day, I'm probably choosing based on location. I'm going to stay at the Ibis or the Novotel. So I think a lot of our customers probably run between 2 or 3, 4 of the brands, depending on purpose, nature, based its convenience, based on family, based on business, based on leisure, right? Based on budget. And that's probably where what we do is we build the strength of the individual brand, but we build the safety net around it, which is the loyalty program. So it's like the protector force if you visualize something. And that's our loyalty program. It's called All, right? It's also the consumer-facing website, all.com. And I think this is where we get that extra commercial muscle. Because, of course, I push campaigns and I track campaign performance. I want to see, if I do an IBIS campaign, how many more people search IBIS? How many more people click on ibis.com?
Sounds very complicated.
Oh, it's fun.
Is it
fun?
Okay.
I mean, you need a big, smart team around you, and I have an amazing team.
Absolutely.
But I think within that all ecosystem, don't forget we add partners, whether it's airline, fintech, whether it's experiences. So then we we cultivate that relationship with the customer beyond the stay, during the stay. So someone might stay, 15 times a year, and rather than burn their points on the next day, maybe there's a concert in one of our stadiums they want to use, or they want to see a sports event that we're associated with. They want to burn their tickets on the F1 race in Singapore or in Abu Dhabi. And this is nice, right? Because then you're touching the value of that consumer outside of the stay as well as inside the stay.
Now you connect some dots from my latest trips, to various events, where I was listening speakers presenting that the contemporary traveler,
yes,
they are choosing by the experience
They are.
and not by the destination, and definitely not by the hotel at the end of the day, as they will say.
Yeah.
So, and now what you were describing, you describe a lot of experiences.
Yes.
How you connect your brands with the experiences.
Yeah, I saw it's a great question, and I was on a panel yesterday about this.
Okay.
So look, I think there's a couple of things. It's not fair to say that they never choose a destination first, but I think a lot of people want an experience. So if you're on a pure leisure perspective, if you're traveling for an experience, then yes, you're going to look. Is there a festival in town? Is there a concert?
Formula One, whatever. Yes.
And the power of that event dollar on the business is crazy. I mean, we feel the impact this year of not having the Taylor Swift concerts in town. I mean, that was next level for RevPAR.
Yeah.
But what I think is, so within that experience, we try to create some of those experiences ourselves. So if you think about it at the moment, we've had previous famous, do you like football? Are you a football man?
I used to follow,
So
but
PSG,
not that much.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
I'm not a football person, but I know this team. So we have been taking the sort of legends of the previous teams.
Okay.
They've been into Indonesia, they've been into Riyadh, they've been into, they were in Africa, I can't remember where. And we've designed one of the Novotel rooms. It's all decorated in sort of PSG. So a customer gets to check in and they get this experience.
Yeah.
And that's money can't buy. You can't do that, So, and you get to meet the legend and have a conversation. So we spend a lot of time curating experiences that people can burn their points on. And even in the destinations themselves, how does the Mercure downtown do something around the local experience and let the guests have access to that when they're staying in their hotels? So experience-led travel is huge, but value-led travel is also huge, right? You think Gen Z, millennials, they care about the environment, they care about what's going on, and they expect each brand to be able to walk the talk, right? So it's, and I think, I think we were talking a lot to Duncan earlier around the ESG principles and what we do.
And I want to ask you, sorry for interruption, I mean,
Yeah.
how you connect your commercial strategy, your marketing strategy with those values.
So very, very important, right? So an example would be the partnership we have with the Novotel brand with WWF, which is really protecting the ocean's health. Now that's huge. They're a highly respected organization, and that's called brand advocacy.
Yes.
Now within the hotels as well, having them eco certified, that's super important to our corporate customers. So for every RFP, I mean, I remember, and I used to do sales, so I remember there used to be like maybe one or two questions that you would answer on sustainability in general. No. Now it's like a module, so we share a lot of information around our carbon footprint and our offsetting programs, on our water reduction, on local sourcing of food and beverage, more non-meat options, vegan, vegetarian on the menu for a reason, right? So it's definitely linked. We've done campaigns which are linked to this. I think we've won an award. I'll have to get the details and send it to you. It was last year, and I know the e-commerce team won a green sustainability award that we did. In the hotels, we offer people extra points multi-points if they don't want to have their room serviced. And it's not because we don't want to clean the room, but it's about
You encourage them
encouraging them. If you're there for just 1 or 2 nights, you really want the sheets changed in an environment where there are people that can't drink water.
True.
Right. So I think it is very intertwined. And I think the expectation of the consumer is that we are doing something in a hotel level, but at a brand level. So as we create the brand foundations, as we deliver the service culture training of the brand, we explain this to the employees as well, right? Because you think about the average age of someone working in a hotel, they're also young, right? And a lot of the time. So ultimately, your employees care. They want to know what is Accor's position on this, but that's the holding company. But then what is Ibis's position? What is Novotel's position? Do I want to work for this brand? Do I believe the brand is showing up in the right place?
You have to make them a brand ambassadors, actually.
If they're not brand ambassadors, why would the customer be? They have to love the brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we measure all of that, right? We measure brand awareness, brand love, brand consideration.
That's another thing I want to ask, because whatever you mention here, it has a lot of data at the back.
Oh, it's data.
A lot of analysis, a lot of technology.
Yes.
I don't know if there is any artificial intelligence also inside.
Thank goodness there is. Otherwise, we would spend days and days and days reading spreadsheets.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank goodness. Okay.
There is a lot. So,
what kind of metrics you use?
I think within we'll use like normal hotel metrics, net promoter score, RevPAR, RGI, ARI, but that's nothing to do with technology. They're just standard way that we measure our performance. What I would say is where technology is coming in and helping us is in the automation of processes. So rather than my BI team, business intelligence team, creating long Excel spreadsheets that you have to email to someone, they've created automated, and a lot of it's done by machine learning and robotics, reporting, which scales all the metrics into very easily intuitive, easy to navigate dashboards, which can be shared. And they're built at scale, and they update on scale, and they update automatically. And if you're a receiver of that report, you get it. You know what to do with it. It's reading the data and giving you insights. So it's proactive insights. So it's major in business intelligence. It's major in the revenue management tools. So we're deploying ideas as we speak across every single hotel in the world that's compatible with it, depending on the PMS. But what's powering ideas is that algorithm. It's AI, right? It's that intuitive learning that the system is doing about the booking behavior of the hotel that is then giving the hotels the support. And in the hotels where we've had it in place now for 3, 4, 5 months, the uplift of RevPAR is substantial. And the interesting part is everyone thought it would only help in the peak, but it's not just helping in the peak. It's helping all round because it's analyzing more data points. It's smarter.
Well, it's supposed to be.
And then, but you still need a human on property to enact that, right? I'm a big believer that AI will enable us to be faster, quicker,
more efficient.
Make better decisions, but the person has to deliver that strategy and execute on that in the hotel, and then should be looking at different things.
And somebody needs to be able to evaluate the data, I suppose, 100%. And select the more insightful.
And challenge it sometimes when need be. You will find that the machine is usually smarter. But what else is AI really helping? So I think some of the tools in the tech stack, so how we talk to our customers and how we push our messaging and campaigns.
So we use it in the front end also with the communication with your customer?
In the CRM strategy, 100%.
Okay.
So we have really smart tools. One's called Movable Ink. I'm just trying to think I get these right now. And this is really helping us personalize. You want a different message to me. You want a different message on a different channel to me. You respond differently to A picture versus B picture to me. And this is all done in real time, making adjustments. And we have seen like really significant uplift in better engagement. So you're opening my messages more often because I'm hyper-personalized to you.
That's
clever.
another thing. It's very clever, but it's another thing. I'm also listening to many of these, especially tech events.
Yes.
Say, the hyper-personalization. We were talking about personalized services, but now we're speaking about hyper-personalization.
And it's
Is
true.
it too much, or is it?
No, I think it's better, right? Because I think in the past we just went one size fits all, one blanket email. Do you know now is it WeChat? Is it WhatsApp? Is it an email? Is it an SMS? When do you want to receive it? What are you interested? I only want to send to you when you've sent me buying signals.
Okay.
And when you send me buying signals, I'm going to push you a message relevant to where you are at your stage.
Okay.
Maybe before there's an inspiration stage. So I need to work out where I should show up and position the brand when you may just be even thinking, not ready to book. Okay. So this is massive game that we play, right? On making sure that the brands show up at different points of, I guess, the customer journey. And for us, we're looking, the customer journey starts in the inspiration and it's right through to post-stay. And we need to follow our messaging and be very careful about what message, what channel, what tone of voice,
and you have
frequency.
To follow the guest needs and expectations even during their stay.
Yes.
And adjust the service you offer. You go up to that level.
I don't think. I mean, so in the level that we're doing, we're getting the booking to the hotel.
Okay.
The hotel takes over.
Yeah.
During the stay, the in-house experience, the warmth of the staff, the artists. Are they embodying the brand, service culture? But making sure their loyalty points are credited, thanking them for their stay, so it sort of loops back around again. Reminding them, it might be an app message to say your points have been credited, etc., etc. So there's a life cycle emails that are woven into that to make sure we stay connected with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like to see in the future? For the technology, probably applications that can help you in your commercial strategy.
That's funny. But I think we have a lot more to do in AI, right? To simplify the workload. Okay. And I think it will take a lot of the pain out of some of the work we do to leave more time for the fun stuff. Okay. But also, I think it's fair to say that we're a very large organization. So we have a mixture of tech. And there's so much new fun stuff, but it doesn't talk to some of the old stuff. So if I had a magic wand, it would be a piece of tech that takes that pain point away and allows some of the older systems to connect with some of the newer technology without the inordinate cost of stacking. Because that's the hard part, right?
It is. Right?
And everything is licensed costs these days.
Absolutely. Another application of the AI technologies, I don't know if it applies in your case, is that it starts to be used a lot on a business to business level, between, let's say, a hospitality company and their suppliers or the travel agents or the OTAs or whoever else. Do you already use it at that level?
I mean, I think what we've just built now is an Accor ChatGPT environment, right? So that our information stays private. Okay. Because that's the scary thing, right? So that when we're searching or we're trying to get help in whatever we're working on, we're not leaving sensitive proprietary information out there definitely. For everyone to see. But I think there's a long way to go. What is helping maybe the B2B to B2C space is the call center. So you still speak to a person, but they're being supported by a chat. So faster, quicker, more accurate,
Interesting. I'm looking forward to see what the technologies are going to bring.
Thank you very much.
And what will Accor do in the future?
It's going to be fun, whatever it is.
Fun, eh? Okay.
I can guarantee you that.
I like that.
Thank you very much.
For your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.